I finally found somebody to be the project manager for that new contract. So relieved. Oh my gosh, that is the greatest of news. Literally the biggest project the company has ever had. Who'd you hire and how'd you find him? Oh, my cousin. He actually posted it on Facebook that he was looking for work. Your cousin? Are you kidding? He's my cousin. What, am I going to not hire my cousin? Especially, he needs a job. Yeah, so we have that court date tomorrow, for when the FedEx truck hit the car and broke my daughter's arm. Oh my gosh, that's right. So did you hire an attorney? Actually, we did, yeah. So when we were at the courthouse, what was that, 2 weeks ago, something like that? We're there for the pretrial hearing. And in the hallway, we met a guy, suit, briefcase, attorney, business card, the whole thing, right on the spot. He said that he'd love to help us with that. He said he'd cut his fee by 25%. So that's a big deal. And frankly, we were talking about it and, we went through that thing a few years ago. Remember when I slipped and fell at Costco? That thing went down. We were totally happy. So we kind of feel like we got this. Yeah, so we're pretty sure mom's going to need the surgery now. Oh, that sucks. I went through a very similar thing with my dad. It was such a nightmare. So you've taken her to a couple of specialists, got some different opinions, Not all doctors are the same. Well, we've been talking to her neighbor, and he's a doctor, apparently. And he's been amazing with her for years, just the perfect neighbor. And he's pretty sure that she needs the whole hip replaced. And we kind of feel like because of that, he's been so nice, taking care of her, and he's pretty sure he knows what to do. So we kind of feel obligated that we're just going to have him go ahead and do it. Wait, what? But he's a specialist in hip surgery, right? I mean, he checked her out and you checked him out? But look, he's such a nice guy. And besides, we're very loyal people. I mean, that's really important to us. And, at this point, we kind of feel like that would be terrible to go talk to somebody else. We finally decided to do it. Remodeling the kitchen, top to bottom, the whole thing. Oh my gosh, you're kidding. That's so much fun. Fantastic. Well, you remember at the Super Bowl party 2 years ago, you met John, my buddy from high school. Well, he's given us a bunch of ideas, and so we're going to have him do the work. Totally stoked. But he's good at this stuff, right? I mean, you've checked out his work and looked at other projects. Wait a second. Isn't he a photographer? Well, first of all, I've known him forever. Right? He's a great guy. We feel really good about it. And besides, he's given us a bunch of ideas already. We went out last weekend and looked at countertops. So he's the contractor. So obviously those are made up examples, but every single one of those things is something that's happened to me in real life. Just this week at a listing of mine, I met a couple, right? And so they had an agent that was going to help them buy my listing, but also to sell their house. So I met them at the open house, and a short time later, I got the offer. And it was obvious that that agent had zero clue about what they were doing. In fact, I was thinking about it that was either their first deal or maybe second. And I looked her up, and sure enough, she'd sold one house before, half the value of the house they were trying to buy, and had never sold a listing before. And I was just like, so I call these people to talk to them, and they were like, well, she's so nice, and she's been really helpful, and we don't want to feel bad. And I was saying, are you kidding me? Another analogy for a circumstance like that is, let's imagine that you're getting your tax returns done, okay? You're going to see the accountant. Now, your tax returns have multiple sources of income, partnerships, LLCs, overseas income, capital gains, capital losses, stocks, bonds, rental real estate, the whole thing, right? The entire IRS category for a tax return. And as you're sitting in the office to the accountant and you're talking to them, you realize they've done one tax return ever, and that was for a W-2 earning 1040 easy form. But what if that accountant was a friend, or a friend of a friend, or a referral, or a family member, or maybe they were going to cut their fee by 25%? Would that make any difference to you at all? Of course it wouldn't. With hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of your dollars on the line, you'd be like, best of luck to ya. I'm out of here. I mean, there's no way you're going to allow them to experiment and get experience with your money, right? Everybody knows that not all doctors, lawyers, accountants, contractors, or workers are the same. Of course not. Realtors are the exact same way. There should be one criteria, one primary criterion, and that is, do they get the results that are best for you? Everything else is secondary, right? I had my shoulder done earlier this year, and frankly, the doctor's bedside manner wasn't terrific. Well, I already have a best friend, so I don't need a best friend. What I need is I need a guy that can cut into my shoulder and do a great job. Now, that all being said, when picking a good realtor, just because somebody sells a lot of houses or makes a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean they totally know what they're doing or their practices are spot on. Okay? It might just mean they have a really good marketing budget or they've been in the business a long time. All right? And on the other hand, just because somebody might sell a few houses a year doesn't mean they aren't a total expert at their job. In fact, I know of an agent that really doesn't sell that many houses relatively, especially relatively to some of the teams here in Orange County. Except for that agent totally executes home run out into the parking lot every single time. The key for you as a potential home buyer or home seller is to take the time and do the homework to make sure that the agent that ultimately goes to work for you has the systems, the strategies, and the practices that are absolutely top-notch and can yield the best possible results for you. Strangely enough, I have those. You can call me 949-413-2371. You can also email me, michael@hausamgroup.com. And then lastly, if you've been watching on YouTube, there's been a little letter I above my shoulder. If you click on that, that will take you to a landing site on my webpage where we can set up a strategy session at that time. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.